Georgia's got to be kicking themselves for losing to Alabama in the SEC championship. Because, I mean,
Georgia was the better team.
Yeah, Georgia's the better team. You can make the argument. I don't know if you can. Georgia, oh, man. I think Georgia beats Michigan. Or, excuse me, I don't think we have the matchups if Georgia wins.
Right.
Because I think it would have been Georgia, Texas, and Michigan and Washington.
Right,
you got to be kicking yourself if you're Georgia. And, I mean, speaking of Georgia, that Orange Bowl, oof.
We heard Florida State fans cry for weeks about how they're still crying, done wrong, and then you had your chance. And we said this whenever it all shook out at the beginning a few weeks ago. You know, we said, look, you're going to have your opportunity to go out there and say, look, we don't have our quarterback. We don't, whatever. We deserve to be there. Okay, well, you have your chance because you're going to play a team that everybody still thinks probably deserve to be in the playoffs as well.
Yep.
At least make it a game.
It was a game for like a quarter. It's a game for like a quarter.
Yeah, even if you don't win the game, at least make it competitive. And you go out there and get shellacked 63-3 to the point where Kirby Smart comes out at the end of the game. He was like, I felt bad for him.
I mean, I think Georgia had their fourth. Jackson Muschamp played. Will Muschamp's son. It was a preferred walk-on. I don't know if he's on scholarship now because,
it was even more excuse from Florida State people that were just like, all right, well, we were out 25 or 27 people to injury or transfer or opt-outs.
So did Georgia.
Georgia had the exact same amount of players that were out either due to injury, opt-out, or transfer. The exact same number. So that's not an excuse either. Like, you were not better than them.
And Florida State
even with Jordan Travis, you were not better than Georgia.
I mean, they were trying to troll Jalen Milroe for his yardage. And I mean, people were roasting him like, listen, if you'd have gone out and beat Georgia, you have a gripe. You truly do. But
even if you made it a game, but the thing is, that was the worst game. Yeah,
but guess what? Every team outside of the four college football playoff teams deal with opt-outs.
Right. Those teams within it that had players, And
here's my thing. This kind of pissed me off, and I'm anxious to hear what your take is on it. Okay, if you're a player that opts out of a game, okay, for whatever reason, you're going to the pro. You think it's best for you to not play, and then you are on the sidelines in like you've got your jersey on and whatnot. Those players should not be allowed on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And if you're hurt, that's one thing. But if you're like, listen, this game isn't that important to me. It's better for my career long term, which is completely understandable. Right. But seeing Keon Coleman, I'm pretty sure he was on the sidelines for Florida State. Brock Bowers was on the sideline for Georgia. I'm sorry. No, you're not coming on the sidelines.
I can see it, but I think some of it now is because these bowls just don't mean as much. Really and truly, the coaches only view them as getting extra practice for the guys that are coming back, or maybe the high school guys. I think that the coaches probably just kind of respect these players' decisions to sit, because in the grand scheme of things anymore, like the Orange Bowl, if it wasn't the national championship, it used to mean something.
I know, but
it just doesn't anymore.
But at the same time, it's like you clearly don't value it as like I don't know. That's a problem. The word I want to say.
I see it kind of both ways, because you still want to be, because you're doing the best thing for you, but you still want to be there to support your boys that you went to. That would be
like somebody entering the transfer portal and then still being on the sideline for the bowl game.
Look, I have a gripe about one of those as well. If you enjoyed this clip, you can watch full episodes on our YouTube page, or you can click the link here.
Or if you want to watch another clip, you can click the link here.